So finally, what they suggest in this chapter is that Erdman is kind of preaching to the choir, right? That's the next section, right? So he closes his book, Lost Christianities, and he ties his grand narrative of the early diversity to some pastoral implications, right? And let me just read a portion of this so that we get a feel for what he was talking about here. He says, the broader interest in and heightened appreciation for diverse manifestations of religious experience, belief, and practice today has contributed to a greater fascination with the diverse expression of Christianity in various periods of history, perhaps especially in its earliest period. This fascination is not simply a matter of anterior interest, right? There is instead a sense that alternative understandings of Christianity from the past can be cherished yet today, that they can provide insights even now for those of us who are concerned about the world and our place in it. Those captivated with this fascinating, commonly felt a sense of loss upon realizing just how many perspectives once endorsed by well-meaning, intelligent, and sincere believers came to abandon, destroy, and forgotten, as were the texts that these believers produced, read, and revered. Right?
So that's Bart Ehrman's Lost Christianities, page 257.
Right. And so, so here Erdman kind of is, kind of giving some pastoral implications. He's giving some application, right, to the truths that he's telling his people. Right? Now, notice our author tells us that despite Erdman's rhetorical flourishes, he ultimately fails to carry out the role of objective historian. Right? His sermon here, which celebrates diversity, right, is well received as he preaches to the choir of postmodern culture. Right? So postmodernism is all about diversity. Right?
Yeah, very much so.
So if Erdman's listeners are willing to uncover their ears, our authors tell us, to hear, they will find that the historical evidence of Erdman's own grand narrative is simply not there.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. So again, Bart Ehrman says that he's helped popularize Bauer, and we see that Kostenberger and our authors, as well as Kostenberger and Michael J. Kruger, have done a great service in responding to this, and it's exactly what scholarship should do. And if Ehrman maybe has his way, he would kick people like Kruger and Kostenberger out because, they're believers and they're too biased.
Right.
But this is the type of response that you would want, because this seems to be if the claims of Christianity are true, what are the implications from it, and what do we see in history? Yeah. And so, wouldn't we want to believe what the implications are from someone who has a tradition of being looked forward to by a large group of people, who was supposed to be the light on the hill, the proclamation of the forgiveness of sin, the being made whole to the creator of the universe. That person allegedly comes and does miracles, teaches good things, says that he's the only way, is killed, dies, gets buried, and in 3 days resurrects, and then comes back and forms the church. That's an important message, and to just say, well, that's not possible. Right.
Or to say, we're not sure that happened, but the winners declared that that's what happened, right. And so that became orthodoxy.
Right. And what we looked at last chapter, too, is that if you apply the same standard to anybody else, if you had the court of Julius Caesar write the histories of Julius Caesar, which hasn't happened, but let's say that was found, Ehrman would have to say, well, we can't take this person for light. They were employed by Caesar. He was paid by him. He's too biased. Right. He was there. He didn't want to lose his head, so we can't believe that person. Now, there's a lot of implications there. He may be right. Maybe Julius Caesar never lost a war in his entire life. Right. And
so honest, again, we have to take that into consideration, right? Sure, there may be bias, and bias such that the truth isn't told. So the question we have, again, is not whether there's bias, but whether we have the truth, right? That's really what the question is.
Right.